Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited to tell you about this podcast. It's called The DK Project, but it's really The Darren Show. The DK Project is a radio show, but without the radio. So sit back, buckle up, and enjoy the ride.
Let's go!
Welcome back to the DK Project. On the podcast corner today, we got the Big Easy calling in to see how things are going, man. We need to make some podcast magic happen here. We've been on a little hiatus. Sergeant Schweitzer has, he doesn't have the COVID, but like everyone around him does.
Yeah,
So
he's immersed in it.
Yeah, so he's having to work an awful lot, which just isn't fair to Sergeant Schweitzer, but he's a military dude. They know how to put in the extra time. You know, I mean, come on. He could do it. He'll be back.
They're all about the work ethic.
In the meantime, we're going to pound it out, brother. I like the idea. There's so much going on that I don't even know where to start. I've got.
Well, first of all, it's officially after Thanksgiving, so it is Christmas season.
Oh yeah, totally Christmas
shopping.
Have you been out? Have you been doing it?
I've been to one store.
Yeah,
one store. Oh no, I was in one store and I did the curbside pickup.
Oh, how was that?
Mm-hmm.
You curbside son of a bitch.
The new Shields.
Oh fuck, you didn't go in?
You pull up and text them what number you're at, and they run it right out. It was really quick.
Dude, that's like Disneyland. How could you not go in there? It's the greatest place ever. I mean, if Walt Disney were alive, he'd be like, why isn't this got my name on it somewhere? It's magical.
I want it.
It's magical. I have to have it. I think I went there 3 times in the course of a week once I discovered it.
Jesus.
Yeah, well, it was like I bought something, I had to return it, and then I went back, and then, another kid came to town. I'm like, hey, we got to go check, it's like the new, latest, greatest shiny toy. So we checked it out, but that's good. So you got something under the belt. I got nothing. I just hate this time of year. I really do.
You're not supposed to hate this time of year.
Well,
man.
I mean, I really like it. You know what I'm really hung up on something right now, and it's really pissing me off. And it's
talk to me.
And it's not something that I normally do. So the fact that I can't currently do it and it's driving me nuts is really strange. But like, I just want to go sit at a fucking coffee shop and just watch people. I just want to go. I just want to go where there's like people hanging out. We were at dinner last night at where we were at dinner because you can't fucking go anywhere else. And and I told the family, I'm like, you know what? I think Saturday we road trip to Wisconsin and go to a restaurant. Like, I didn't check if they were open or not. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But I'm just like,
they probably are.
I just want atmosphere. You know what I mean? Like,
I know. Hell yeah, I do.
It's driving me crazy. I'm fully tested. I'm clean as shit. I got nothing.
It's getting very vanilla. There's nothing to. There's like to your point on the coffee shop. I got a couple of guys who are always wanting to do like a happy hour. Just miss you get the beer, you get the snacks, you get some people watching, you get conversation with other people, like strange. That's just gone.
Well, and that's just it. It's like, and when you're putting together a podcast, it's nice to have fresh material, and it's very similar
experiences.
Yeah. To like the comedians that we listen to podcasts, you and I listen to a lot of the same ones. It's like, there's no fresh meat out there. I watched Kevin Hart's new special, and the first part of it, I didn't like at all because he's really got nothing. He's talking about basically how rich he is. And then he talks a little more about how rich he is, and he wraps it up with some rich stuff. And, and it's the same thing where like, I don't normally hang out at a coffee shop, but I'm just like, I just want to go sit down, and I don't want a paper cup either. I want like a real coffee cup. Like we used to meet at a local joint for breakfast. You and I did for a while. And,
yep.
And it's just like, God, I just want to go eat some shit I'm not supposed to and drink coffee till I got to piss my pants. And for some reason, as of late, it's really been bothering me. Like, man, that would be so cool. That would be so cool.
It's the little things.
Yeah. Well, then, do you think then, with that being said, I know as soon as we're able, you're going to be happy houring like a madman. But do you think you'll do you think people will appreciate things more now that they're like, I can't do that.
I know I will.
I can't do that.
I know I will.
I just wish we had a quality coffee shop in my town. Somebody's working on that. He looks like, oh, me. Anyway.
Are you?
Yeah. Oh, God. Speaking of which, I got this. Listen to this. This is crazy. I got this. I did have something happen. I'm working on a real estate transaction with a real piece of shit. Like just a piece of shit. And I've gone back and forth with them a couple times.
You mean the person?
Yeah.
Oh, not the property.
No, this is a private part. Oh yeah, the property's a piece of shit too.
Okay.
A real piece of shit.
Double shit.
Yeah. I thrive on shit. And so I called this guy a while back and he hung up on me. Actually, you know what?
On purpose?
Let me roll this back.
Whoa.
I call
what
the
adult
house.
hangs up on another adult?
This is amigo to amigo. There's no realtors. There's no nothing. This is Joe Schmo calling Joe Schmo.
So Joe Schmo in this,
I'm Joe Schmo.
He's
Joe asshole. That's what it is.
Okay. Are you trying to purchase the property from this guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
So I call his house on his landline, and the wife answers, and I'm like, "Hey, is beep 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 home?" And he's like, she goes, "No, he's not. He'll be home later on. You can call after 9." I'm like, "After 9 p.m.? That just seems weird." I didn't say that, but I'm like, "After 9." She goes, "Yeah, you can call after 9." And then she hangs up. I'm like,
God.
Okay. Maybe they don't have phone etiquette at this house. So then I waited a couple days because I'm like, I'm not calling them after 9. I'm damn near looking at the back of my eyelids by 9 o'clock. And last thing I want to do is business transactions.
Yeah, right.
And
not on your game.
A couple days later, I call and I'm like, hey, blah, 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 blah. And he knows who I am. And I'm like, hey, thinking about doing this. He's like, you got my address. Send me an offer. And he hangs up. So I call back. I call back and I go, oh, I'm sorry. We must have got disconnected. No, we didn't. He goes, I hung up. I was done. I'm like, well, I don't have your address to send the offer. So whatever. And I end
Looks
up
like we weren't done.
So I end up putting this offer together and I send it over to him. And I didn't want to call because the guy's such an asshole.
Whoa. Come on. Well, slow down there, Chief. Don't gloss over. Is that a move that you can do nowadays? You can just be done and hang up on someone?
No, not if you're a civilized human being.
Fuck, I mean, I couldn't imagine doing that.
What a piece of business setting. I was so like, it's just ugly. It's just ugly. So basically I put the offer together and I'm just like, and maybe it's because the last time he stopped at my office a little while back, and the last time he was at my office, he came in hot for whatever reason.
Really?
Yeah. And as he's leaving, I said, hey, the next time you come to my office, you knock on the door and I'll decide whether you're coming in or not. Because he basically just came raging in the door, and it's a business, so obviously the door's open, but he just comes in and starts yakking, So I said, next time you knock and I'll decide whether you're coming in or not. Because he's truly,
I don't like this guy.
Just an asshole. So anyway, a couple weeks go by and I'm like, I better call and check on my offer. So I call him and I go, hey, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, yeah, this is him. I go, no, I'm looking for blah, 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 blah. And he goes, no, this is him. I'm like, well, you sound like a 5-year-old girl, dude. What the hell? I didn't say that, but that's what I'm thinking. I actually had called, had called one time because I had heard that he had passed. He's an older gentleman. I had heard that he had passed. So I called and I'm thinking I'm going to take it off the estate, And I called and the same voice answered. And I'm like, shit, is that him? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to
Oops.
do. So I'm like, hey, is, whoever available? And he's like, yeah, this is. I'm like, oh, shit. So anyway, once I established who I was talking to when I called to check on my offer, I said, hey, I sent you over that offer. I want to follow up, see what you thought. He goes, you're not very good at math, are you? I'm like, what? He goes, well, this and this and that and this and this and that. And I'm like, well, and he hangs up.
Come on.
I'm serious.
This guy's a hang-upper. This is like a Seinfeld character.
I go,
hang-up guy.
Excuse me? He goes, yeah, you need to work on your math. And he hangs up. And I'm just like, fuck, I'm done.
Oh my God, how can you even tolerate this guy?
So now we're going to wait it out. He's going to die eventually. We gotta smoke him out. We gotta run the limits. There's nothing I can do. But yeah, that was my big exciting thing for the week where I'm just like, I don't understand why you have to be so ugly? Like, why are you, what happened? God, you're ugly. Ugly.
Yeah. You got no time for people like that. But this guy owns what you're trying to get. So clearly you got to deal with him.
Yeah. He got what I want.
Shitty. That sucks.
Whatever, man. It's America. This is what we do. We deal with stupid people. America. Hey, we didn't talk since Thanksgiving, and kind of a different Thanksgiving though, wasn't it? Real interesting.
It was, but I have to say, we had a blast. I mean, it was just us, just the family. We still made all the normal Thanksgiving-y kind of shit that goes along with that meal.
Please don't use shit when referring to a holiday meal.
and just kind of did our own deal. It was actually pretty nice.
Yeah,
I did the board games, played some cards with the kids.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was good.
It was perfect. We had the college kid flew in, or my daughter flew in a couple days early. I had arranged all of that, but my son surprised the wife. I ended up having to know about it because some of the airfare technicalities.
Pay for it?
Well, no, he would have hit me up later, but that's always the thing. It's like, hey, I booked this thing to surprise mom. You want to get me back? I'm like, sure. It's nothing I'd love more. So anyway, he flies in and surprised her, and it was cool. But it was just nice because they all hung out with us, and I made a nice bird and a little hammy, and it was just killer. It almost seemed piggish to where like, well, we and ate like animals and had leftovers.
You did bird and ham?
Yeah, and I didn't just do a bird and a ham. I did a big bird and a big ham. I don't know what is normal. How do you figure out how much you need? What is there? Like
there's a ratio online.
There's like a turkometer? Because I went with 15 pounds because at my favorite spot, my second favorite shopping destination, Hy-Vee, it was buy a ham and get a free turkey. So I rocked a 15-pound turkey and I don't know how heavy that ham was, but I can tell you one thing. It's probably worth the money to get a spiral cut ham because your boy can't cut ham.
That's a tough one to cut too. It's got a weird bone going through it.
The wife oh no, it wasn't that kind. It was deboned. It was like a chunk of ham. I don't know what it was. But the wife goes, "What's with the ham chunks?" I'm like, well, I had this small odd piece left. What do you want me to do? I said they're probably good for soup. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, I smoked that turkey on the Traeger, man. God, I love that toy, but I kind of screwed up. I might have to put her up on the old Craigslist. Because
what?
Well, the one I
got it.
I know the one I bought doesn't have the super smoker feature. So I'm having to do more primitive versions of smoking that, like, if I'm going to spend that much money, I probably should have got the super smoker feature, but whatever.
So Traeger sells a smoker and another one with a super smoker feature. Like, it doesn't have enough smoke on the other model.
Well, this is a gray area because like mine burns with pellets, but it's only smoky when you initially fire it. You know what I mean? Like when it first starts smoking or first starts burning, then there's smoke. But unless you have the super smoker or add additional smoke, you get average smoke.
See, I have a different brand, but it's a pellet smoker.
Yeah.
But you got to remember one thing. The entire heat source is from burning wood pellets. So it always has smoke, not the white and blue billowing shit when it's starting up.
Yeah, but I like that.
I mean, you're
I like that. I like that part.
What was that?
That, my friend, is a telephone. They've been around a long time. When someone wants to talk to you, they will call you on the telephone. And if you don't,
maybe it's your guy. And
if you don't mute it during the podcast, I don't know who it is. What guy? I got a guy? Come on.
Oh, the asshole telling you the offer's good to go.
Yeah, like he don't even know how to. Yeah, what? Hey, this is the guy. You put the offer in, and I'm thinking I'm going to take it. Fuck you. Oh. Hey, I was on a podcast last night called In Fred's Head, I think it's called. And they were really, really railing on me for the Vikings. like really making fun of me.
Why?
Well, because they're New Englanders, so they ain't doing that good either. But
No.
I'm like, dude, that's kind of like picking on a handicapped person. You can't, like, the Vikings are always very unreliable. So what are we gonna do? But anyway, it was kind of funny. It was actually a really nice podcast, and I'll be curious to see what they come up with for a finished product. But I wanted to bring up,
when's it release?
Saturday,
right,
Bobby. Yeah, everybody should check it out. It's interesting. Definitely not for the children. It's
Love it.
It's a little more aggressive than yours truly's. It's it's called the Head of Fred, Within the Head of Fred.
Within the Head of Fred. All right. Speaking of that, have you ever noticed, maybe this is irrelevant for you, but my kids are a little younger than yours, and on the Pete and Sebastian show, which I listen to, regularly.
Yeah.
I have many times tried while in the car to listen to it when the kids are in the car.
Can't do it.
Because in my mind, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of swearing for some reason. Like when I'm listening to it.
Guy. Come on, guy. Yeah, there is some.
But then when you listen to it with kids around, you're like, whoa, within the first, 2 minutes, you're trying to
you know what?
edit.
I can't listen to a podcast that I want to listen to with other people in the car. Like even if the co-pilot's in the front, I can't do it. Like because they'll get into something funny and they'll be like, "Hey, did you see that I bought a 15-pound turkey the other day?" And you're like,
"Oh yeah. No.
Hold on a minute. Let me rewind this 15 seconds."
I'll be straight up on the one person is the daughter, because she has the same sense of humor. Like she likes Sebastian and Pete when I play the stand up, but just can't do the podcast.
Little greasy.
Little greasy.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, I wanted to see if you saw this over the past week. Vanderbilt University not doing that well this year. They are currently 0-8.
Oh God, are they really?
Something happened. You haven't heard about this?
No.
You haven't heard about something happened to where their kicker was out, like either COVID or injury or whatever, and their backup kicker was out, COVID, whatever. So the coach decides to pull in the national champion soccer player girl. They just came off a win at the national championship. They've won 2 years in a row. So he suits up a girl as their kicker from a soccer team, which in theory makes sense. But when you see her out there, you're just like, something's not right. Like she's, I don't know what it is, but it was a big deal, like big press, big everything. I think she gave a half.
But how do you, but hold on. Was she just like there with a uniform that kind of fit her? Or
no.
She had a thing?
Oh no, she had a real uniform, and no. It was the start of the game. They came out of the tunnel and she was coming out, she dressed as the kicker. She was
this wasn't like a mid-game shift.
No. Oh, no.
Okay.
No. You
can do that. You can put this is going to sound fucking barbaric, but you can put a female on a male team. Like
I guess she's the first.
Yeah, I guess you can.
She's the first female to play on a Power 5 football team. Power 5, big conference, whatever.
Yeah.
And I think she came out and I think she did a kickoff because they suck, so they couldn't get close enough to where she could chip a field goal in or anything. And by looking at the way she kicked, she really didn't. She didn't have a long boot at all. At that point, wouldn't the coach be better off just using his place kicker? Using anyone else on the team?
Yeah, a place kicker is pretty familiar with kicking a ball.
So they made a really big deal out of this. No, the place kicker must have been out too, because she actually did the place kicking.
She did. Okay.
Yeah.
She was the kicker. All right.
Yeah, and I don't know. I didn't watch the game because obviously Vandy's dreadful. But so she does get in. She does kick the ball. First girl to play on a Power 5 team, and they lose, of course, because they suck. And immediately after the game, they fire the coach.
What?
He gone. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. One day after they lost 41-0 to the Missouri Commodores.
So, geez, I've never heard of them. So now is the news going to be he fired me because I used a woman?
Oh, you know it.
That card?
You know it. Oh, yeah. The Vanderbilt is the Commodores. My bad. Yeah, well, his overall record was 27-55, so it's not like they got rid of a gem. You know, he's got a future working for the Panthers. Is that who he played last weekend? The Vikings?
Yes,
because that coach had his head way up his ass. Woo! But yeah, I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh, that's a big deal, you know, girl, whatever, you know, whatever. But then you look at it, and it's like, oh my God, they fired him. Like in this era where people are blown away because they get in trouble for saying the wrong thing. Like you and I were talking earlier, and what's her name was Whitney Cummings was paranoid about talking about Michael Jackson because she didn't want to get in trouble for her
comments.
Comments.
And the Michael Jackson story is a decade old.
Right. And now you got this happening. I just think with the cancel culture that we have, that oh my gosh, it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, everything
bad.
has to be looked. Yeah, I know.
But then they fire this cat, and you know, all right, we have an opening.
Well, let me be the animal in the room here. If that's a different locker room dynamic once you throw a female in a male locker room.
Well, and it's
right?
Yes, and it's very much like you know, obviously everything's trending that way, equal rights. We want to do this, we want to do that. But there's just some things that, like, if you're an average sized woman that, you know, I mean, there's some women that are like, oh, you play football, you know, but not everybody can play football. Not everybody is, you know, cut out for it. And it's dangerous, you know, like if you're not prepared, there's a big difference between kicking a ball on a soccer field and maybe brushing into somebody and kicking a ball on a football field and someone tackling you at full speed.
And having a 220 linebacker midair hit you.
Yeah. And I just thought, you know, you're just looking for the attention is all you're doing. But then in the end, when you get fired, does that bite you in the ass? I mean, man, alive. That is crazy. I had to laugh, though. Down goes the coach. Oh, well, there'll be more. There'll be more. Special thanks this year to our sponsor, Grady Restoration. If you have any kind of home improvement insurance restoration needs, give them a call at 952-472-1570. If you've got construction projects, you know, everybody's sitting around with their honey to-do list, and even though you've got a lot of time because of the pandemic, you still shouldn't do home improvement projects. Some of us just aren't cut out to do that kind of stuff. So you need to call the good folks at Grady Restoration. They've got years and years and years of experience, and they can handle any project, big or small. And if you're not sure if you have insurance damage from hail, from water, from wind, fire, could be anything, give them a call. They'll come out, take a look, complimentary, and let you know whether you've got a case or not. And for those of you who've got some construction projects, they're happy to help with those also. Give them a call at 952-472-1570 or look them up on the web at GradyRestoration.com. All right, DK Project listeners, it's time to support a local restaurant. Today's pick of the week is Baja Haas in Wayzata, Minnesota, located at 830 Lake Street East in Wayzata. You're going to want to give them a call, order some takeout. This place is top shelf. I was there just before the most recent pause. Thanks, Governor Walz. But we need to get out and support some of these local businesses. Check them out online at Baja Haas. That's BAJAHAUS.com. Or give them a call at 952-476-0816 and get yourself a little Mexican to take home. It is muy delicioso. One of my favorite spots for the Mexican food. So they got a great staff over there. Everybody's good. So you got to get out and support these folks. During the pandemic, we're all in this thing together. So tell them you heard about it on the DK Project. Now back to the DK Project as it rolls on.
So absolutely.
I got some news nuggets I looked up. Are we ready for news? You got any hot tickets?
No, let's go news.
News. Hey, I saw this article. Do you know what Cher has been up to? You know, there's a pandemic. There's a pandemic. There's a voting problem with our presidential race. There's a all kinds of stuff going on in the world right now. But she's been working in Cambodia. There's an elephant that need to be rehomed. So
what?
Yeah, she's been campaigning to get this. It's called Kavan, is the elephant's name, and it's now been kicked over to Cambodia, thanks to Cher.
What? Why does the elephant have a name?
Fuck, because Cher's involved.
Oh.
She says, there's he began to explore his new home right away. This is amazing for him. His life is going to be the life of an elephant and not of a prisoner. And I'm thinking to myself, come on, like, it just puts that knot right in your stomach. It's just a lovely place.
Makes me
people
hate
are very
people
kind.
like her even more.
It just makes you sick, right? Like, oh my gosh, you got nothing better to do?
But I don't know anything about it doesn't even make sense to me because I don't know the story, but was this elephant imprisoned somewhere?
It was like a zoo, like a zoo. And now they moved it.
So
she says it's just a lovely
She took it
place.
from like a Super 8 motel and put it into a Hilton, basically.
Yeah, right. It's like 36 years old. It's an old elephant.
I think that's young.
But she's for elephant years?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think they go long. Yeah.
So in parting, Cher says, it's a lovely place and the people are very kind. I would love in some years to come back and see him. Any idea how old Cher is?
I do.
Oh, you do? How?
I do.
How do you know that information? Please tell.
70. God, what was it? Ironically, this came up in our house on Thanksgiving.
Oh, really? Were you talking about elephants?
No, we were watching the one of the shows, like the parade or whatever.
God, that parade sucked this year. Woo!
It was horrible. But
horrible.
At some point on that channel, Dolly Parton was performing a song. I want to say it was part of the parade bit.
She's rectacular.
And I went, man, she's old and looks not bad. And the wife goes, how old is she? I go, I don't know. She's got to be close to 80.
Yeah.
So the wife looked it up and then it came up like other notable, like Cher was one of them and all these women. Oh
yeah.
Susan Sarandon and that kind of shit. But she was in her 70s. I want to say 76.
74, baby.
74. Yeah.
74. And there's still a couple original parts on that rig. A lot of the factory originals have been upgraded, but there are some factory parts still in there somewhere. You just have to find them. She's not making gold records. I'll tell you that much.
No.
Hey, are you thinking about flying anytime soon?
The next time would probably be spring break.
Spring break 21. Well, they've made some adjustments to the airlines, and they're tightening up the old precautions on the animals that are allowed to fly under the service animal rule.
Thank God.
Because regulators have requests so they've received requests to extend the legal protections to miniature horses, monkeys, and other species under final U.S. Transportation Department rules issued Wednesday. They've decided we're going to tighten her up because under the existing rules, airlines were required to recognize, animals as service animals with limited, exceptions. Everybody who says they had an animal, they could run with it. Okay, we'll go with that. But now legally protected service animals are now limited to dogs trained to perform tasks for visually impaired or have psychiatric or other disabilities. And they do not have to allow emotional support animals.
Oh, thank God.
How nice is that, huh?
That's some of the best news I've heard all week.
I thought you'd like that. Now, this brought up a question in my head that I just have to ask. Didn't we used to tuck these four-legged frickers under the plane? Like, didn't they used to go under the plane?
Yeah, in the belly, cargo.
Yeah, why can't we do that now? Are we cutting back on plane construction and can't keep them warm enough? Or why can't they go underneath? Why do you got to have it next to me?
Cruelty.
It's not any different than it was 30 years ago. They're not going to handle it any differently. Send them in the belly of the beast, man. Why not? I was blown away. I was blown away.
Oh, if you right now with this news, if you're an airline or a plane manufacturer, wouldn't you want to make one that like with a dog level, like shove all the dogs in here. It's warm. There's chew toys.
I'm sure it won't be long before they start like making that.
Everybody can shove their pets in there and
then get their own dog airline. They'll be like Hot Dog Air. Didn't we talk about that once? No, that was something else.
No, dude, I bet you will. I bet you're right.
Yeah, it's coming.
Because people are weird about dogs in this country.
Oh my God. Do you know what though? We acquired a beast during the pandemic, and you can tell where I'm at already. Most people are like, oh, we grabbed the rescue, we rescued this cute little dog. And I'm like, we acquired a four-legged beast during the pandemic. We've added another problem to the household. Yeah, right. Something else the funding source can take on. And it kind of changes your view of the animals, like now I don't make fun of so many people with that, okay, whatever. Dogs are dogs. I get it, and they are, whatever, unconditional, animal, so that's cool. But God, some people take it too far. No, I love dogs. We have one. They're great pets. I just don't understand the need to have them with you in all public spaces at all times. It's ridiculous. I don't get it. People are attached. That's what they do. It's like people who dress their dogs up, like with little sweaters. Do you have little dog outfits for your dog? No. That seemed like a yes, dude. You waited way too long. You were trying. You were trying to think if there's any pictures out there on the interweb that are going to give it away. I was contemplating how bad I should swear. Whoa, big time. Hey, no, not into it. I've recently been hitting the vitamins and vitamin water, because I'm trying to be healthy and up my immunity. What have you heard about the Hungarian red berries? Anything at all? Their last album was great. I don't know anything about them. It's the elderberries. They elderberry, yeah. They's on fire, baby. Been around a long. That's been promoted to be beneficial for a long time. It tastes like shit, and that's all I'm saying. Elderberry tastes like shit. Elderberry. Are you getting like raw elderberries in, or are you getting like a capsule? Dude, I'm getting a gummy. It's all about gummies. Oh, a gummy. Yeah, little gummy, little chewy. I don't know. I got a buddy who swears by him. So you can get your elderberry benefits with sugar and corn syrup at the same time. Why do you have to do that? Why do you have to be that guy? Okay, sometimes a little sugary snack isn't such a bad thing. It's a gummy. It's a gummy. I don't know what to tell you. You wash it down with a Capri Sun? No, Sunny D. It's an orange drink. They, I actually haven't been taking it because I've been doing this intermittent fasting. And for some reason, I feel like that's cheating on my fasting if I take to the elderberries. So I've been not. Yeah. Damn, dude. Dude, when I lock it down, I lock it down. Come on. I'm on a pretty robust daily vitamin. Robust. Serving. It's a lot. Yeah. Well, and this is the prime time of the year for everybody. Well, normally people wait till after the 1st where they're like, I'll probably need to shave off a couple of lbs. And I'm like, fuck.
Well, the supplements won't help with that. But what's with the size of these multivitamins? I can barely get mine down.
I don't know, but you know what? I figured something out because doing the intermittent fasting. You take the big fistful of vitamins and stuff, and then you get that whole like, whoa, I probably need to eat something.
Oh yeah,
whoa.
Yeah, you got to take them with breakfast or lunch for sure.
It's the zinc, man. Zinc is lethal. That's like a drug if you don't take food. I mean, it just makes you goofy as shit. So I try to take that in the afternoon with my lunch.
Yeah, let me jot this down. A lot of zinc.
Yeah.
Empty stomach.
3 beers. A lot of zinc.
Get my buzz on.
What you got to do is power drink. If you power drink and take the zinc, you're gonna come home a winner. Don't drive on zinc and beers. God, I wish restaurants were open. Some bitch. That's just too bad. All right. Last nugget of news that I have for you today, sir, is have you heard anything about this monolith sculpture in Utah?
I have a little bit more headline than anything.
Yeah. Well, it's a mysterious metal column found standing in just crazy remote location in the Utah desert last month. And it was knocked down and dismantled by a group of men who considered it trash, according to a photographer. But, and then the following Tuesday, there was a one in Romania, that like a real one that's supposed to be there. Now that one's missing. How about that? Kind of strange.
I didn't know that part.
Oh yeah.
Were they the same size and same shape?
Yes, but the one in Romania was, like carved, and it had like, I don't know, it looked like if you took it looked like when you first started metal shop and you had to run a grinding wheel and you threw like 7,000 circles because the grinding wheel got out of control.
Oh yeah.
That's what's on the side of the one in Romania. But just kind of funny that 4 days after, all of a sudden that one's missing too. I don't know. Kind of weird, but it brought up a good point. If you're in the middle of fargin' nowhere, like middle of nowhere, no one's ever going to be here. And you throw up I don't know how the hell you get a big ass silver monolith out there, but like, is anybody ever going to find, like, how do they find this? I'm guessing they probably spotted it from satellite because it probably reflected, you know what I mean? Like it was so shiny, but how do they find this stuff? And at what point are you so far off or is there nowhere on Earth, or not Earth, and there's nowhere in the United States that's not, subject to foot traffic? I mean, do we have places in the continent that have not been touched? I don't think there is.
Ooh. I suppose, yeah, parts of the Grand Canyon, right?
No.
Or no? I think that's been
they've been all over
traversed.
That bitch. Oh yeah. Yeah, I just think it's it made me think when they're doing this thing, like, number one, who carried that slob of a piece of metal out there? But number two, is it in an area where who cares? You know what I mean?
Well, it must have been in an area that is like a touristy, deserty, there's like the cool rocks around there. Whatever floats your boat in the desert.
I think it was, I tell you what floats the boat in the desert. It was like inexplicably, found it was inexplicably in a remote part of Utah's desert. Like, I don't know. Are there parts of Utah's desert that haven't been traveled by man? I don't know.
Maybe it's a big desert.
Yeah, we've got some questions that need answering. I really would like to know. I mean, I'm sure there's some people out there that are much smarter than us who could solve this little mystery.
I bet there are parts of or areas of the boundary waters have never had man touch them.
Ooh, now you're talking.
Yep.
Now you're talking. Are there boundary waters on Canada's side? Eh?
Yeah.
So they have boundary waters also?
Yes.
I've never been because I don't like to canoe.
I don't like to camp.
Can you canoe? Fuck camping. I don't even understand that. Work my whole.
I could bang a good canoe out in the afternoon. I don't mind that, but the camping part.
I worked really hard.
Everything around.
Worked really hard to get where I'm at to go sleep on a dirt floor and.
I know. And it makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it ain't cool at all. Every once in a while, the wife gets a wild hair up her ass and is like, "Hey, we should go camping." I'm like, "Fuck, no."
Shut that down right away.
I can get you into a Ramada on Friday, but that's it. I think that the whole. It was funny. A little funny story. I was down in Florida near the Glades, and I was canoeing. One of my canoe experiences with my father-in-law. And I'm like, I'm not fleet of foot. Let's say that. I'm not the most agile person. I'm a little bigger than the average bear. And when you say bigger than the average bear, that means I'm referencing bear for a reason. And we hop into this canoe, and he's a smaller dude. And I'm like, hey, just spitballing here. I know you got the gators and the, barracuda and all this fish.
Pythons.
Yeah. Like, what happens if we tip over? Like, it's really pretty tippy. What exactly are you thinking we should do? Where do we go? And he goes,
yeah, you want a backup plan. That's smart.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody should. I mean, short of wearing a floatable red or orange life vest, let's have a plan. Just like if there's a fire in my house, you got to have a plan. So I said, what happens when it tips over?
Yeah. Is there a shape that gators don't like?
Yeah. Yeah. Do I serpentine? Do I jump up and down? He goes, if it does tip over, what you're going to want to do is stand up. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, oh, it ain't that deep here. It won't even be over your waist. I'm like, fuck, you pulled it over on me. Just stand up. I'm like, oh, good. Okay, so I got my clipboard and my pencil off. I'm like, all right, survival plan, check. Yeah, just stand up. I'm like, oh, shit. So yeah, canoeing and camping, not on DK's bucket list. They are things that I've put astern, I believe. If, I wouldn't even stay at a Ramada. I stayed at a Ramada one time. We took a family trip to Nashville, drove the hoopty. Good time, man. Good time. But we're coming back and I'm like, hey, the Grand Poobah can't drive anymore. So we should stop and grab a couple hours. So I hop on the old web, on my phone. And I'm like, God, there's a Ramada for like $59. We're only going to be there for like 3 hours. So we pull off the interstate, slide into this Ramada, just one room. The little dude will sleep on the floor. So we go in and there's like a Mercedes creatively parked in front of the Ramada. And it turns out that Mercedes happens to be the smooth cat working the desk. That's his car. Nice. He's in a full velour jumpsuit. Red flag. But I didn't pick up on it. I'm like, he's like a headband short of being a true criminal looking individual. And so I did the, all right, give me, let's have a room. And so we go we check in, it's whatever. And it was almost the first time ever in my life. And I don't frequent hotels, but I've done my fair share, to where I almost went back and said, think I get my money back? Like, I don't want to stay here. Like the carpet had holes in it, like a tear. Like someone had probably,
God,
I'm going to say, I'm not a math guy. I don't want to work percentages, but I'm going to say 75% sure at some point someone was murdered in that room. Like we got ready for bed. We put clothes on, like we added layers so that we didn't touch anything.
Yeah. What? Let me ask you this: based on the room's appearance, what had the higher percentage in your mind of occurring? A porn being videoed in that room or a murder?
This particular one was a murder scene, but I can guarantee there was a porn set somewhere, and the dude working the desk was on break. He was looking for craft services. It was I don't know. He was like a gold chain away from maybe being a pretty good rap star, I would think. But I was just like, so the wife and I are laying in bed. We wouldn't even let the little dude sleep on the floor. We're like, stack him up. He ain't laying on the floor. So the wife and I are laying in bed, and I'm like, God, do you think they give me my money back? or do we just walk away from the $60? just
yeah.
I've rested a minute. Let's get out of here.
Do you have time for just a quick other little hotel story for
Always, me? Baby.
Too. We were, it was just outside of Chicago. Could not stay awake anymore. And it was on the way to Connecticut. It's way back. And we had the missus with me, and we were pulling to this only place I could find, just similar to your Ramada that you just described.
Yeah.
Except they had this particular establishment had that I don't want to use the word lobby, but where you go, there's a door on each end, and then the person checking you in is behind another wall and a window. And then you slide.
Were you in jail, dude?
You slide your card and all that shit through, and the keys all like the.
Oh no! Are you serious?
You know what I'm talking about? Like where it's all plexiglass except for the little.
I've heard about it. I'd never stay in a shithole like that.
Except for the little.
That's sub Ramada, dude.
This was as bad as it gets, and I'm like, I just need a couple of hours of sleep. Come on. And she was not on board with it, but I'm like, I need it. Right. So do you have the rape kit?
You have to test this room.
I'm doing the transaction, and she slides the key under the little tray so I can grab it. And as this happens in this little lobby thing, a group of young local gentlemen come rolling in, and
that's code
really
for
loud.
Gang.
They're loud and definitely understanding that we're not from town.
Oh shit!
And I have like a trailer with my gear in it in the parking lot.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
I'm moving. And as I'm finishing up the paperwork and getting the key, one of the dudes and mind you, this area that we're in is 25 by 15. It's a small little little entry.
Sure.
And one of them straight up hurls. It was just so fucked up. So he lays a pile in the room. And I look at her. I look at the gal I'm with, who's terrified.
The key back.
and I turn and I look at the lady behind the glass thing, and she goes, no words were said. She goes, no refunds.
So yeah.
Slid the key back under the old window and got in the hoopty and found that extra energy I needed to drive to a real hotel.
I just walked away from the $27.
It was I was more concerned if I was going to make it from that spot to my vehicle.
No refunds. I thought you were going to go with the classic introduction. Would it be, Holmes? Hey, fuck your mother.
Roll up.
Oh, no refunds. Hell yeah, dude. That's top shelf. That's how you know that you're in a quality place.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you have some nightmares about that one, huh? Man. Why would you even do that? You should have called. I would have slid you a couple bucks, dude. Who stays in a place like that?
No,
Jesus
it was just
Christ.
I had no idea where I was. This was pre-Google on the phone, pre-nav. And it was like, hey, we're low on fuel. Here's a motel. I need a few hours.
Was it one where the doors are out, like the ones like there's no hallways?
Yes.
God, dude. This is fucking gross. Just threw up a little bit in my mouth.
Never did get to see the room. So,
well, then I guess we'll have to hang on the memories of my Ramada. This has been the Travel Hour with Big Easy and DK. Dude, that is awesome. The fact that she chimed in the no refunds, that is tight. That is tight. I
it was
love
all
it.
in the eyes.
Hey, we got to wrap this baby up, put a pin in her. So we are going to be starting to add more episodes, more people, more craziness. And I'm going to be bopping around on some other podcasts. So I'm going to be posting about that on my socials. And check out some other podcasts and stuff that's going on out there, because there's a bazillion of them right now. But in the meantime, tell a friend. Make sure you share with all your social media. Let everybody know about the DK Project. And we're going to be coming at you at least once a week, if not multiple times a week. And we'll keep rolling along. So we can't thank you enough for the time, Big Easy. And we'll check in on with you on down the road.
All right, ciao.
Thanks, man. That's it. That's the end.
That's a wrap.
Read the shtick.
That's a wrap for today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe and tell all your friends. If you'd like to reach out, you can use the studio line at 612-504-6500 or by email, thedkprojectpodcast@gmail.com. And of course, there's always social media at the DK Project Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.